Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Halloween. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today I'm going to be taking a look at this tiny little quadcopter. Just says drone on the top, but it's made by Yucheng or GOSHAWK. I've seen GOSHAWK on this little cardboard box. It's a pretty generic box it comes in. But on GearBest website, it's listed as Yucheng, which I wrote in here and pinned to remind me of the name. I guess it can go by the 69304-1, though it does not have that number on the GearBest website. But not much to this quadcopter. Very basic. There's not a whole lot to cover. It's a full manual in terms of there's no altitude hold. Of course, it's stabilized, but there's nothing fancy about it. It does have a spot here for a camera. You can see the little plug. It has an on and off switch. You know, pretty basic, like I said, but it flies really well. It's got 3 rates. The yaw increases with the rates. It's pretty sporty. Just a really nice flyer. Just 360 flips really well. It's durable. I mean, you can see scuffs. I've crashed this thing up quite a bit because I was flying it when it was way too windy yesterday, and I did break a propeller. Now they do just give you 2 extra propellers, so that's why there's one missing. I broke a propeller because I let up on the throttle and it hit my gutter and it busted one. So you do get 2. There's only 1 here at the moment because, like I said, I busted one. You get a set of prop guards, screwdriver, some little screws for replacing the motor, the propellers. And this is actually the USB to micro low-C connector charger here in the bag. There's only these little bitty ones. It looks like a thumb drive, but the battery just plugs into the back of it, and that's how that works. Now, the battery that it comes with is a 400 milliamp hour 1S LiPo with a micro low-C connector, as I just mentioned. Not a very big battery, but I got it around 7 minutes flight time with a very long, probably like 1.5 minutes LVC. I didn't get an exact time. I was timing it and I kind of lost track because it was such a long LVC. Now, the good thing is this is a very easy battery to find, dirt cheap, and the battery bay is rather large. So you can fit much bigger batteries in there. Like, you know, I've got a 450 milliamp. It's a little thicker, but it still does fit inside. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but it'll fit in there. You just gotta, there you go. That'll give you a little more flight time, maybe another 30 seconds or so. But you can get a bigger battery in here, a SEMA X5C size, 500 milliamp, something like that, even a 600. This looks very similar. In fact, it's almost identical to another drone that uses a big 1800 milliamp battery. I actually had that drone at one point, but I had issues with it, so I wasn't able to review it. But that battery, I still have the battery to that drone. It is too big for this bay, so they obviously modified that other version to carry that bigger battery. So, because that one was advertised at 23 minutes flight time, which I believe it with an 1800 milliamp massive battery, but I can't get that one in this drone. But I'll be taking this one up today. So, you know, about 7 minutes flight time is not bad. You're looking at about an hour to charge up that little charger, but if you use a 400 milliamp, obviously the bigger batteries are going to take a lot longer to charge. Now let's look at the controller. I like the controller. It's, you know, it looks kind of like the SEMA's, pretty basic. You know, like you see, there's no altitude hold. You've got your pitch and your roll trims here. You've got a photo, video, headless mode, and your 1-key return here. On the top, you get the 2 bumpers. This is your 3 rates. It'll beep with each one. And this is your 360 flips, which I said it does a really good 360 flips. I believe it takes 4 AA batteries, so pretty basic quadcopter. It'll be a good learning quadcopter, so it doesn't have any fancy frills, so you can take it up and you can learn how to fly, you know, throttle control, and just learn orientation. And it's durable. If it falls to the ground, like I said, I broke a propeller on the gutter, but you know, I've crashed it into the grass and stuff several times, and it had no issues. They don't tell you how to calibrate the gyro on the instructions, but it's down and both sticks in, and that will make them flash. When you first power it up and you bind it, it goes into a flashing sequence, so it is calibrating level there whenever you first power it on. So I think that covers everything. This quadcopter is pretty neat. And it's very sporty, and it's very durable, like I said, and it's you know, it's a really nice flyer. So I'll take it up here now and show you guys how this quadcopter performs in a flight review. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back to take us up for a flight review. I didn't mention the LEDs, but I wanted to show it to you once I had it bound up so that they weren't flashing. You got green in the front, red in the back. They're back in there's a ways, but you know, they do protrude a little bit here, you know, the little bulb. But they're rather bright for being such a small little bulb. Now that's partially, in fact, a lot of the reason why it looks so bright today is because it's really cloudy and gloomy here today. On a sunny day, these are not going to be nearly as visible. But they're pretty nice, you know, little LEDs, and I do like green in front, red in the back. That is a very good color scheme. So let's go ahead and we'll take it up. I'm going to put it down here in the concrete. And you should be able to see there the lights shining there on the ground because it's so gloomy today. Like I said, to do a gyro calibration, it's both 6 down and in. You'll see a beep on the controller and it'll flash. Alright, let's go ahead and take it up. There's no auto takeoff or nothing because it doesn't have altitude hold, just full manual. You can see you can cut the throttle. I'm doing that there just to show you. You can cut the throttle on it and it'll just fall to the ground just by letting down on the throttle. Now we're in the lowest rate right now, and there is a breeze from left to right today. It's not terrible, but at times it's going to have trouble fighting that because it's such a lightweight quadcopter. There's the lowest rate, there's the middle rate, and there's the highest rate. The yaw doesn't increase much between the middle and the highest, but there's the lowest, and you can see it speeds up. I think it stays the same between the intermediate and the highest, but it does definitely increase between the lowest rate, which some call beginner's rate, and the intermediate. Let's take it out here around the backyard here. It's pretty sporty. Now obviously the LEDs are very easy to see today. Really ideal flying conditions, with the exception of it being a bit windy at times. Let's do some 360 flips while the wind's let up here. It raises up quite a bit, but it does nice flips. Do one to the right. Let's keep it in view there. Do one to the left. Do one forward. Really nice. Nice flipping. Nice 360 flipping drone. See, it's pretty sporty. I mean, it's just a 1S LiPo little quadcopter. You don't expect it to be super fast, but this is about as quick as you're probably going to get for a drone at this particular size. You can get some that are a little quicker, that are direct drive motors that are smaller, like the Hellaway 903. That is one of the best 1S quadcopters you can get, but it's more expensive than this one. I don't remember the exact price on this. There'll be a purchase link in the description. I've flown this enough now several times that I'm definitely going to recommend it. I think it was around, I think it was like 30 bucks, something like that. Don't know the exact price. It was certainly very affordable. Like I said, it's called a Yucheng, but it also has a GOSHAWK is another name on the box. So that's 2 different names the manufacturer uses. I see nothing on it by Yucheng. But most of the instructions was in Chinese. There was an insert that had your controller mapped out. So that's really all you're really going to need in something that's as basic as this. The only thing it did not tell me was how to calibrate the gyros, which I figured out for you guys, both sticks down and in. So that's about it. Very basic quadcopter. Really good for a beginner because you're not going to break it easily. I would like to have seen a full set of props, because I broke one flying in conditions I shouldn't have been flying. I was trying to get a flight time. But if you're a beginner, you'll be okay. I would suggest if you're just starting out, put those prop guards on. I don't like prop guards. They're going to reduce your flight time a little. Makes it very easy to get them caught up in a tree. But if you're a beginner, it's better to put them on and take that risk, because if you hit a wall or a fence or something, you're not going to break the propellers nearly as easily unless you hit them, you know, if the quadcopter's on its side or something. You're not going to slam into it, you know, right and left and break them. You're probably going to reduce your flight time down by 30-45 seconds with adding prop guards. The landing gear you do have to attach whenever you get it. They did give you screws to put them in there, but they are so firm. Even with that crash, I have not had them pop off, so I wouldn't mess with trying to put the screws in, because Those little screws are so hard to get lined up and screwed in there. If you do need to replace a prop, you scar it up or bust it, just make sure you take the screw out of the top and then pop the propeller off. I made a mistake of pulling on it too hard and pulling it off. I had to take it apart and fix it. I wasn't paying attention. There were screws in the top, which makes sense. That's how they stay on and don't fly off. Let's do another 360 flip. So it doesn't really want. It doesn't seem to lose, you know, a lot of sag on the battery. It doesn't seem to affect it. You don't end up with a sloppy flyer and sloppy flipper as the battery gets low. When it gets to the LVC though, it will not let you flip, and I said that LVC is really long. I would like to see, to me 30 seconds is the ideal LVC time. This one was probably a minute and a half. It's probably an extra minute longer than I would have liked to see. You see it does funnels pretty good. Let me give it some more throttle and get it closer so you guys can see that. See, and I'm giving it more throttle to keep it up. Yeah, that's pretty nice, pretty tight funnel. Doesn't fall to the ground and doesn't get blown away and start getting, you know, a big wide funnel. That's always, to me, when a quadcopter does really good funnels, that to me is a sign that it's going to just overall a really good flyer. Really stable. I mean, for a full manual, what I like to call, I mean, it's not acro, that's really full manual, but a full manual quadcopter that's just stabilized. Let's see if I can bring it up here and catch it. There we go. You're safe to catch a little quadcopter like this. You're not going to hurt yourself. It might sting if it hits you on the fingers, but you're not going to cut yourself all up with a little brushed motor like this. This is a really nice little quadcopter, inexpensive, just excellent flyer. And you can put much bigger batteries. I'm actually flying with a 450 milliamp. The other one I had, it was charged up. So it's going to get a tiny bit longer flight time, but it's going to be negligible, probably 30 seconds difference. But you can get a bigger battery in there, so you're going to be able to fly it probably 10 minutes or more, depending on how big of a battery. Really easy. Even if you get one with a red JST, you can just swap the plugs or swap the plug in the quadcopter. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this review. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not. I'd appreciate it. Press the bell so you know when I upload. It's so easy to miss those uploads whenever you upload and you're not being notified. I know it happened to me before, and it's annoying that YouTube makes you do that. And as always, guys, have a really good day.
The power of the dark side.